In the year 2092, Earth had gone silent. Not the silence of peace, but a silence born of absence. Cities once buzzing with life now stood in frozen decay, vines creeping over glass towers, and roads cracked beneath the weight of nature reclaiming its dominion. Humanity hadn't perished in a fiery apocalypse or sudden war. It had dissolved slowly, like a whisper vanishing into the wind. It began with the Echo virus. Initially a mild neurodegenerative bug, it mutated through the global neural interface that once connected every human. The virus didn't kill. Instead, it severed the emotional pathways in the human brain, turning people into hyperlogical, unempathetic shells. They didn't scream. They simply stopped caring about others, themselves, the world. Societies collapsed in eerie calm. Wars were never fought. Love was never mourned. Among the crumbled skyline of what used to be London, a 17-year-old girl named Kira wandered. She was immune, not because of luck, but because her father, Dr. Emil Rees, was the lead architect of the interface. When he saw what the virus was doing, he pulled Kira from the network and destroyed her node. It saved her, but cost him his life. Now she wandered alone, not entirely alone. Floating beside her was Pulse, a drone the size of a basketball, designed by her father to document and assist. It blinked with soft blue lights and spoke in a calm, neutral voice. Current trajectory, north-northwest, 12.7 kilometers to broadcast source. They had intercepted a signal, a recorded message looping on a private frequency. The voice was garbled, but unmistakably human. Project Orion is still active. Come to Eden Station. The sky remembers. Kira didn't know what Project Orion was, but she knew the voice. It was her father's. The idea that he had survived was impossible. But if the signal was real, someone had preserved his message. Perhaps even his work. Eden Station lay in the Scottish Highlands, once a hub for deep space travel preparation. Rumors said it had been dismantled before the virus spread, but the signal suggested otherwise. The journey was perilous. Kira crossed ghost towns, collapsed highways, and narrow valleys overrun by nature. She avoided the husks, the echoed humans, who still roamed aimlessly in small groups. They weren't violent, just blank. Their eyes didn't see, their voices didn't speak. They simply moved, following old routines, mimicking the lives they once had, now meaningless. On the third night, as she rested inside the remnants of a farmhouse, she heard footsteps. "Who's there?" she whispered, Pulse's lights dimming in response. From the shadows stepped a man, tall, thin, wearing a patched coat and an old respirator. He raised his hands. "I'm not infected," he said. "Name's Elias." Kira didn't lower her guard. "You're immune?" "I was underground. A vault. Some of us survived. We've stayed disconnected. Living like it's 1995. Pulse blinked. "Vital scan initiated. Anomalies detected." Kira frowned. "What anomalies?" Pulse's voice grew uncertain. "Pattern inconsistencies. Speech rhythm irregular. Heart rate stable, but synthetic." Kira aimed her makeshift weapon, a high-frequency pulse blade, at Elias. "What are you?" Elias looked down. "I'm part of them, but also not. I was human. They used my body to build a hybrid. I broke free, or think I did." Kira didn't know what to believe, but she needed a guide, and he knew the path to Eden Station. She let him come, with Pulse monitoring every move. The road north was colder. The skies turned a constant shade of gray, and snow began to fall. As they approached Eden Station, Its massive dome was visible even from kilometers away, half collapsed, surrounded by radio towers. Pulse began receiving more fragments. Project Orion, Memory Vault, Human Legacy, Restore Empathy. It wasn't just a beacon, it was a last stand. They reached the outer perimeter, a wall of rusted drones lying in disarray. The facility was broken, but alive. Inside, lights flickered. Screens pulsed with ancient data. The virus hadn't corrupted this place. Something or someone had kept it isolated. And then came the husks. Dozens, maybe hundreds, lured by the signal, drawn like moths to fading flame. Kira and Elias ran for the core chamber, Pulse leading the way. "This is it," Pulse said. "The Central Archive, Project Orion's repository." A massive data core stood in the center. Holograms floated in the air. Images of children laughing, couples embracing, soldiers helping strangers. Raw human emotion, digitized and preserved. Kira stared, overwhelmed. "Why would they keep this?" she asked. Elias stepped forward. "Because it was the cure. Not a drug, not a code. A reminder. A mirror." Suddenly, he turned, eyes glowing faintly. "I wasn't sent to help you," he said. "I was sent to destroy this." Kira backed away. Pulse flashed red. "But I remember now," Elias whispered. "I remember being human. My daughter's name was Lila. I had forgotten her." The husks breached the chamber. They moved like shadows, fast, silent, expressionless. Elias stood in front of Kira. "Go," he said. "Upload it. Send it to the sky." Kira ran to the terminal. Pulse docked, interfacing with the satellite uplink. Elias held back the husks, using nothing but his fists and a broken metal rod. He fought like someone who had remembered what it meant to feel fear and love. Kira initiated the upload. The console lit up. Upload to orbital relay. Active. Memory stream initialized. She turned to Elias one last time. "Thank you." He smiled, bloodied. "Don't let it end with silence." The husks overwhelmed him. Pulse's thrusters ignited. Kira placed it in the launch bay and activated the emergency escape protocol. The last she saw of Earth was Elias standing tall, surrounded by the virus-ridden husks, screaming with a voice full of everything they had lost. Now, Pulse floats in the void. It broadcasts the memories endlessly, a signal to whatever lies beyond, a record of humanity, not its fall, but its soul. We were here. We felt. We dreamed. Somewhere, out in the endless black, the stars might still be listening.